What if I told you were designed to be great? In fact, the reality is you were created to accomplish something significant, something special. In life, there are roadblocks that may try to derail you. But guess what? You can look at those challenges and see them as opportunities. Opportunities to grow, opportunities to soar, opportunities to get your music out. Your music is essential, it is needed. And no, we're not talking about melodies, half notes, or treble clefs. Your music is your purpose, the reason for your existence. Walk with us as we embark on this journey to get our music out. Hey family, what's going on? It's your boy Life, and it is Pass here once again with another episode of
Get Your Music Out.
Get Your Music Out Pod. Listen, man, we just want to thank you guys for tapping in, for tuning in to another episode. You know what I mean? We got something good for you guys this, this afternoon, this evening, whenever you're going to be watching this. To be honest with y'all, this is not easy to be consistent in, putting out content like this, you know what I mean? Because, we have busy schedules, both me and my wife, you know what I mean? We, a lot going on. And you add kids to that, you add ministry, you add full-time, all that stuff. But we're trying to make sure that we be as consistent as possible to make sure that we give you guys the best quality or best content ever, you know what I mean? So with that being said, we got a good topic today, right? And before we do that, my wife is wearing pink, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if we're still celebrating the breast cancer survivors.
Some people celebrate it for the whole month.
For the whole month, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I'm not sure which month you're gonna be watching this, but this is in how you call commemorating all of those who, not just commemorating, but like celebrating those who made it on the other side, which my mother is one of them, you know what I mean? She had breast cancer came around to her life twice, you know what I'm saying? And, she beat it twice by the grace of God. And, we want to give a shout out to my mom, Nenen, and all of the survivors out there. God bless you. God sees you. God has a plan for you. You know what I'm saying? And we are happy that you are here in the land of the living with us, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So with that being said, we are on on assignment today. There's a great topic that we want to discuss, and it's we're talking about owning. What is it again, baby? Owning. I said something like owning your fingerprint.
Right.
But you coined something else.
Now I forgot what it was.
Like owning your sound.
Yes, owning your sound.
Yeah.
I like that.
Break that down a little bit.
So owning your sound being like being true to yourself,
Being true to yourself.
Having your own identity, walking in your own identity, not in someone else's identity, not in someone else's lane.
Wow.
That's
so good. You know what I mean? Owning your own identity, owning your lane, right? Because if you're going to be putting out anything into the world, people expect you to show up as you, right? Not as, someone else, you know what I mean, that you've been watching, you've been examining, you've been studying,
right.
You know what I mean? You think of, there's someone in particular that I could, mention right now off top. A preacher. Let's just say this is a preacher that we know.
There are multiple.
Yeah, but let's put your father in that space, because if you don't know anything about my wife and her father and the father's legacy, you know what I mean, as far as the preacher, he's like one of those princes of preachers. You know what I mean? When it comes to revivalist, he was kind of like the forerunner.
Trailblazer.
Yeah, and trailblazer, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Pastor Vic Summer, Dr. Vic Summer, Bishop Vic Summer, the chaplain, chaplain. You know what I mean? He's a man that actually set a tone, and he actually set the bar, you know what I mean? He raised the bar for how preachers should be presenting the text, and, you know what I mean? And so there's a lot of individuals who started, I ain't gonna say stealing, but they imitating.
Yeah.
And, for a season, it's okay.
Right.
Because you're trying to find some preachers starting out. Finding their footing.
Yeah.
And, but you got any stories on that? Like you want to kind of, not, you don't got to say any names, but like, you want, you know what I'm saying? Like people kind of like go that direction.
Well, I was just thinking about how, like, for a season, because you said for a season that it would be okay. And I can see, like, in our life in general, it's always good to be able to have a person to imitate for a while, because sometimes there's something in them that you can identify that is ultimately going to unlock or develop, you know, who you are,
Yeah.
right? But I don't think that the ultimate goal is for you to forever
Stay there.
in perpetuity,
Right.
you know,
Right.
follow and imitate that person,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So just really just being comfortable in your own skin,
Right, 100%.
you know, and being comfortable even with your own quirks, you know, being
wow.
comfortable with,
Yeah.
you know, your own verbiage, your own
Right.
vernacular, your
Right.
own expression.
Hannah. Frosty, I see you. Here we go. Yo. Super excited, man. I got an announcement to make. PSA, let's go. Here we go. Yo. To all my supporters, I got some good news. Release a new book that you need to peruse. Daily Jump Start, 45 gems with Pastor Life, and you know it's pointing back to him. Straight motivation, inspiration, expect transformation. After you flip the pages, you could be young, old, the words are still gold. Invest in your mind, spirit, body, and soul. It's a new year. Jump started off right. The next 45 days will change your life. Someone asks, where can I get it? I'm glad you asked. Click the link in the bio, it'll get you there fast. DailyJumpStartBook.com. DailyJumpStartBook.com. Say DailyJumpStartBook.com. DailyJumpStartBook.com. Get it.
DailyJumpStartBook.com. 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 Hey guys, to order your copy today, go to DailyJumpStartBook.com. Bye.
Frosty, I see you.
DailyJumpStartBook.com.
Even when, you know, if it is that we were supposed to all sound the same and be the same when we all got saved, because we all got saved the same way, right? There's only one way.
Facts.
Right? So if we all got saved one way, why then would God not make us all robots and sound the same?
See, to
You know
talk
what I'm
about
saying?
that, because even in
We
our
left our
encounter,
personality intact.
but see,
You know what I'm saying?
we got saved as far as one way, got converted to Christ, right?
Right.
But the way he called some was different, right?
sure.
And like Apostle Paul's conversion was different from Apostle Peter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why, you know, you see that they moved in their own
Different.
grace differently.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So and so I think you know, God isn't trying to change,
Right.
you know what I mean, who you really are. He just
Exactly.
amplifies that and sanctifies it,
Right.
you know what I mean, to be used for his glory and his purposes,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm a jokester, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like my whole family, everybody know about our family, we crack jokes,
All day.
stupid jokes, right? It don't even make sense sometimes, but these
All day.
jokes, all day, you know what I mean? So I use that, right, and I put it, you know what I mean, within my gospel presentation or when I'm preaching or teaching or
Right.
even it's all, you know,
It's your package.
it's my package. It's a part of who I am.
Yeah.
There was a season in my life, if I'm honest with you, there's a season in my life that I tried to preach and move like everyone else, like I guess the most popular style of preaching
Right.
back then. You know what I'm saying? Because I came up in a time where there's a lot of young preachers. You know what I'm saying? And the approach that they took was more like super deep with it. Like the language was like man of God. You know what I mean?
Spell manned.
Mand, M-A-N-D.
of
Man of God.
I've been trying to figure this out. If somebody
Still
could
trying to figure it
spell for me, manned of
Yeah.
God.
And so what's crazy
Oh no,
is
man of God.
man of God. Exactly. You know what I mean? And it's interesting how, you know, when I would go preaching different places, I was so I would say hood with it, you know what I mean? That I was, even right now, I'm saying, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I used to do the heavy, every other sentence I was saying that. I've not gotten better, much better, you know what I mean? But
Let's do a poll on that. Has he gotten better?
you know, but that defined who I was. That was who I am. You know,
Yeah.
I was embracing that
Yeah.
quirkiness, that, you know, uniqueness, because, but what's crazy was, it's like in the context I was in, it wasn't celebrated.
Right.
It was like, nah, Pat, you got to be like this.
Right.
You got to talk like this. You got to say this and then the third. And I'm like, for who?
Right.
And why? Why would I have to change who
you are.
am?
And it's ironic how in that season, I'm glad that you gave a bit of a pushback,
Yeah.
you know, to not be like everyone else.
Facts.
Because I'm starting to see in your development and as you continue to stay true to yourself, right? Not only are you able to relate to people in a way that everyone can't relate to,
Yeah.
you deliver your sermons and your messages in a way that lands also different,
Facts.
you know? So then it's almost as if you give people like a different aspect of like how the message of God, you know, like it's like a different facet, a different aspect of who God is,
Yeah,
you know,
facts.
and I believe that we serve a multifaceted God, but God still stays true to Himself. You know what I
100%.
mean?
Yeah.
But so where I was going was like as you stay true to yourself, I'm starting to see now that if you started to speak like the rest of them, the type of people who God is bringing into your life now,
Wow.
they would probably discredit you as they have discredited other
100%.
preachers. But because you speak their vernacular, you're with the yo and the this and the
Wow.
that or whatever, they consider you as being real.
Yeah, relatable.
And when they say real to what? You're being real to whom?
To
Yourself.
myself. Wow, that's deep.
Right? You're not being real to anyone but yourself.
Yeah.
You know? So everyone will label you as real
Yeah.
and approachable because
Facts.
now the guards are down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that that's a good aspect or a good point. You know, in being true to yourself, you know, you're closer to your purpose. You're closer to your identity, and you're also closer to fulfilling, you know, what it is that God has placed you on this earth for.
I love that.
He doesn't need two of anything.
Yeah, 100%. That's so
God
true.
is infinite.
Yeah.
You know, so his expression
and
has
he-
to also be infinite.
I mean, he loves variety.
Right.
God is
He
a God of variety.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know, no one fruit is the same,
No.
right? So it's like, or two fruit, what do you call it? You know what I mean? So it's like you have apples, oranges, you got grapes, you got whatever, pears.
And even when you think, okay, so I don't know why I'm still having like analogies for
Please.
the music, right? Getting your music out. But like even when you're producing music, right? You can have different drum sounds.
True.
It could be the same tom, but they have different sounds of different toms.
Yeah.
It could be
Facts.
it could be snare, but you'll have different snare sounds. Trumpet. All trumpets don't sound the same.
That's true.
You could have one that sounds like a bugle, or you could have one that almost sounds like you know, like almost like a fanfare type. You know what I mean? So like, but depending on what type of music you're trying to get out,
Wow.
you know what I mean? In order for you to find the right sound, you also have to stay true to yourself. You know what I mean?